Welcome to the Eli and Mike podcast show. We have Dr. Donovan on our show today. Welcome. So excited. Even though he looks so young and it's hard to call him a doctor, this is Dr. Donovan. So.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We were honestly honored. It's interesting because we actually saw you on Instagram one day. We're like just browsing because you come out on the Explorer page like, oh, this dude doing this breakdancing thing. I'm like, but he's a doctor? Is he a doctor or breakdancer doctor? Whatever it is. But we just started browsing. We're like, oh, Mike, like this guy has a lot going on. He looks really young. Like maybe we should hit him up and talk to him about like, maybe he can be on our show. Maybe we can talk more about what he does for a living. And here you are, so.
Thank you. The power of social media, right?
Yeah.
People, you get inspired by them, and then we all gonna be together like this, which to me it's so amazing.
Thank you. And so thanks for being here. Remember you telling us right before you got here, you're in the West Hollywood area. Is that where you're at, or Hollywood, or or?
My office is in Burbank.
Oh, Burbank. Okay, so I'm way off. Sorry, yeah, it's way off.
Your research.
Right. Bad research.
Yeah.
So Burbank. Okay, so it's not too far from here.
Yeah.
So, coming from everything that you do, you're in chiropractic. Is that what you call chiropractic?
How would you say it?
Chiropractic.
Chiropractic.
It's like legacy and chiropractic combined.
Okay, there you go.
So, one of the biggest things is, a lot of us go into our lifestyle of business, and none of us really always know exactly how we fall into it. And we were talking about it even a little bit before. So being a chiropractor, why? Like, why is it that's what your decision was? Why is it that you're doing that right now? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it just your thing? Is it the today doctor?
I was like, hopefully you like it.
Yeah. About that. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I wanted to help people like with their health somehow, but I had no qualifications at all. So when I was younger, I was helping people like either teaching them like some activity or doing fitness, but it wasn't very fulfilling.
Mm.
And then I would like help people with their emotions. I'm not even a licensed whatever.
Oh, wow.
So when I was younger, I was like helping people like train. I was helping them like get motivated.
Got it.
But then I wasn't getting paid for it. And then everyone was talking about me when I was younger to my chiropractor, who ended up reaching out to me. He's like, I hear all these people are like talking about you, like you're helping them, like motivating them to get healthy. It's like, you know what, change your life, you should be a chiropractor. And I was like, I don't know if cracking people is going to change my life with these people. Even though he like adjusts me all the time, it makes me feel great. And he actually like got me out of being paralyzed before. That's how I got into it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like, he kept reminding me like, this is for you. Like this is going to guide you into the right path. So he'd remind me every 4 months. And then, he's like, just read about it. So he like told me that chiropractic has to do with your brain and body healing and communicating. And I was like,
wow,
it has to do with your brain and spinal cord.
I didn't know that. You just taught like something new.
There's science to this. I thought it just makes you feel good.
Right.
So I read about it, and then I was like, that's why you healed me that one time when I couldn't move. It makes sense.
Wow.
Can we talk about that? Is that okay if we talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said that you were paralyzed before?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did this occur?
So when I was breakdancing a lot. So breakdancing guided me to chiropractic.
And we saw that. We saw the breakdancing.
Yeah, so I was practicing all the time. I was doing martial arts, and I never missed an hour of the day. And then finally at midnight, my body was so worn out, I just jumped into a handstand, which is a simple move. And my body was so worn out, bent in half backwards.
Oh, wow.
And I paralyzed myself, and I couldn't even move. And I was just shaking on the floor.
No way.
From like midnight till 10 a.m.
And by paralyzed, do you mean like you actually really truly became paralyzed?
Like not like paralyzed, like I couldn't move like this. It was paralyzed, like I muscle guarded, and I was stuck on the floor. And I couldn't move because I was excruciating pain. And so I didn't sleep on the floor.
10 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, I'm just like,
that's intense.
I'm awake. I'm like, well, this is awkward.
But like, did anybody check on you? Like,
well, my dad found me the next morning at 10 a.m. and he goes, what the heck? And he carried me to his friend who was a chiropractor, the one who was talking to me. That's how I met him.
Right.
And he's like, he made a private visit. He's like, fix him. My dad's like this giant bodybuilder.
Okay.
And then the chiropractor adjusted my neck, and I was just walking out. I didn't even think anything of it because I didn't know. I was like very naive about everything because I think I was like 13 or 12 years old.
I was about to.
Oh, okay. So this happened back then.
Yeah. So I was like a little kid.
And you were breakdancing already.
Yeah. So I was practicing like nonstop. I was like, I want to be like that guy on TV. Oh, like,
wow.
don't go.
I do not. Oh my God.
Yeah, so like that's how I discovered chiropractic. So I hung out at the chiropractic office every day. I'd breakdance in there because he just opened it
Okay.
when I started going there.
So,
like,
so hold on. You after you got paralyzed, you got cured. You still kept breakdancing.
yeah, it's my dream. I was trying to be a famous breakdancer, not a chiropractor.
Wow.
Yes.
And then I just switched from there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was seriously was just trying to go all in with dance. I was like, I don't even care about having a career. That's how being a dancer is in that community. You actually don't want a career. I'm just
Right.
And being in chiropractic, right? So how long does that take to become either certified? I don't know if it's a certification. Is it a license? How does that work?
So you get an undergrad, and it's usually science or biology or kinesiology, and then so you do that for about 3 or 4 years, and then you go to graduate school, which is chiropractic college, and then you go there for about 4 years,
Right.
and then you take 5 board exams.
Wow.
Which are like medical, physical therapy, and chiropractic board exams.
Got it.
And they put you on that pedestal because you're going to get a doctor's license.
Of course.
So that's why they're making you go through all this school. So they make you hang out in the cadaver lab. Like, it was so intensive. I didn't even know. I thought I just came to train with the cracky. I was like, so we're doing like martial arts in here? They're like, wait, you have to do science?
Right. And do like 10 years of school?
Yeah. So like, I was grateful that they had it intensive that way, because I just came there to like just crack people.
Right.
And I end up like working on so many complicated patients ever since. I was just trying to crack people. Like, it just guided me to this new path, like with my chiropractic career.
So they really make sure you're a doctor.
Yeah. We're not kidding, guys.
Like, okay, you're really going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so crazy.
And did you set up your first office out here in California, or?
It was in Seattle.
It was in Seattle. Okay.
Right when I was done, I opened it in Seattle, and I opened it in a little kids room at first, and
no way.
and I got kicked out of it.
Oh my God.
And then my mom was like, "You're not gonna work?" I'm like, "Nah, it's cool." And then I'll just work on the streets and adjust people on the street. And then later she's like, "I have someone who will let you go into their office." So I worked in the corner of a tax office, and it was like really worn out tax office. Shout out to my new auntie that let me stay in there. She's Filipino. She's like, it wasn't that worn out.
Yeah, right. She's like, hey, we had to put together.
I was like, it's so ghetto in there. She's just kidding. It's not, just in case you watch.
Right.
But, wow. She helped me a lot. But
Right. Look where we are today.
yeah.
Right. That's true.
But it was like literally in a corner, and she made me like this much space. And I had like just a table, and I didn't have any standards. I'm just like, whatever. I don't even care about making any money. I'm just trying to get by.
Right.
And then people started referring to me one at a time like crazy. And I was like, well, this is crazy, because I was like doing a new chiropractic style. It's not new, but like it's different. And so people started referring like crazy. And I was also using social media when I wasn't that big. I was like just tagging people.
Got it.
And then so everybody started coming in that tax office. So it was packed with people in the ghetto tax office.
Oh my God, taxes and
Chiropractic.
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, so I started in like a ghetto tax office,
Oh my
and then
God.
over time people started flying, because I was manifesting. I was like, I'm gonna have people fly to me, and I'm just I like out.
God,
like,
we love
outrageous.
manifesting.
Yeah, and then someone flew to me. I was like,
No way.
I know what you're thinking. It's not that nice in here. They flew all the way here for this ghetto tax office.
Right.
She's like, it's not ghetto, but
Yeah, exactly.
So when that happened, I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, it just turned to this huge thing in a tax office.
Wow.
And eventually, I made it into a bigger space. Like,
Amazing.
yeah. And it happened like really fast, like in about 3 or 4 months, I think.
And did you learn that technique just by working on people, or was there like you read a book and said, all right, this is a technique that's old fashioned, maybe I should try it? Or did you just one day say, come here, and just snap somebody's back?
I was
This is
like,
my new
Right. Yeah.
this actually works.
Right.
It's just
I was like, yeah.
right.
Well, when I was in school, I had like a lot of bad luck.
Okay.
And I originally wanted to work under somebody. I just wanted to change my life, because when I was in Seattle, I was actually really depressed. I was working at a gym. I was barely getting paid, and I was working from like 6 a.m. as a trainer to like 11 p.m.
Okay.
And then I was like, one day I was like, I need to get out of here somehow. So I was every time I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I gotta change my life.
Wait.
And then finally I was like, and my chiropractor was talking to me about like doing chiropractic, and I was like, I think this might be my ticket to like change my life somehow. I'm not even certain if this is for me, but I'm sensing like this is a healing art I could do because I'm into healing. So I used it to get out of Seattle and move to the Bay Area to do school. And then I had bad luck. And then someone was using my credit. And
Identity fraud?
Yeah. And then
That's the worst.
and I didn't even know what that was at the time.
Okay.
I was like, excuse me, what is that?
Right.
And then I didn't know anything at that time. And then I also I had a place set up for me as a Filipino house. She's like watching. She's like, I didn't kick you out, but
Right. We love you. We love you.
but she wouldn't like. I had stuff for 3 months, and then when I got there, she's like, hey, you want to go out one more night? And I was like, sure. So she told me like go party one more night and come back to her place to set up my home over there while I was a student. And then she's like, oh, I just gave away your room. And I was like, what? No. I was like, I have no place to go.
Oh, wait, did you go out that night though?
I did. That was a trick.
That worked.
It worked.
Yeah. And then she got rid of me somehow. And then so after that, I was like trying to find a place. And that's when I found out my credit was like messed up. And then everyone was denying me to live at a place. I couldn't even live anywhere.
Right.
So eventually I told my friends, like, I have nowhere to stay and I have to go to school. And he's like, here's my car. Just actually, let me step back.
Yeah.
This is a crazy story, but he was like, hey, you can stay at my boss's place or something. He's on vacation. And then so I go in the city and I go to his boss's apartment. I don't even know his boss. Oh, wow. And we're going to our boxers and like, okay, let's go to sleep. And his boss is this Indian guy who owns like this large business. He turned the light, like, what are you doing in my home? And we're like, I thought he was gone. He's like, wow. He's like sleeping there the whole time.
No way. Wait, he was there.
Yeah, he was there, like sleeping. He's like, went to go get a snack, and we're like sleeping in the living room. I was like, oh my god, we're all naked. We're like,
Wow. Okay.
That's a great. My friend always makes. He has unfortunate bad luck. I was like, are you serious?
Wow.
That's funny.
So he kicked us out, and then we had to sleep in a public restroom. And then I have actually clips of this as a joke. I was like, where's like room? Oh my god. And
So Dr. Donovan sleeping in a public restroom. Wow. Oh my god. You guys heard it here today.
Yeah.
Just say.
Yeah, like we put yoga mats and we just slept next to a toilet. And
No way.
yeah, and it was like,
God.
it was so painful.
I'm so
And
sorry.
yeah, it's like what? Yeah,
But you're saying it was. I'm not even meaning to laugh, but you're saying it was painful.
Crazy.
yeah,
Like,
well, like
you were going through a hard time, right? Yeah. So again, I don't mean to be laughing. It's just a crazy story.
You guys can laugh. It's okay.
But wow,
Yeah.
sleeping on a restroom floor to doctor, medical feel like amazing.
That's
That's what changed my brain into like wanting to own my own business. But it was like bad luck for like 6 months. It was just like the craziest venture. It was only like 6 months was a long time for me, but like being homeless for 6 months was like way too hard. Like I was passed out every day in class, and everyone thought I was insane. And I didn't even shower. I was like,
Wow.
and I wore napkins as socks. I'm like putting myself on blast, but like,
No, thank you.
It's crazy too. It's and most people that are actually very successful now, they have these stories like when they like, oh, I had to shower. Yeah, exactly. And they were just like, I know almost so many people that are successful now that have gone from zero to something to nothing to back to just go back and forth to keep learning.
it's true.
And so many people have been homeless, and then they realize like, all right, I need to get out of it. And sometimes you go back into it again. So it's crazy to know that you got this success going on with you right now, and you come from a humble beginning. You're like, well, I never just started with nothing. Like, I'm sorry, I started with nothing, and now I'm building something that's getting more important. So that's super amazing.
Yeah, that guided me to like, I'm just like, I don't want to feel like this ever again. So I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to learn how to run a business and market. So the whole entire program, I was learning how to run a business and marketing. And then that's how I got into social media. But I felt like the universe was like guiding me there. And it was making me go through all these trials. And I was even trying to go through these trials. And I was like, I was losing my mind. So I pulled out a journal. I just started writing myself. I didn't even know what manifesting or journaling was. I was just like, and I was starting to hate my friend who became homeless with me. I'm like, I hate this guy.
Oh.
He doesn't even know I hated him the whole time.
Yeah. Read the journal.
He's like, wow, we had such a great time together. Like, no, because I even broke. I like, it's over. We're not being homeless together anymore. Break up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's what guided me to the mindset that I'm gonna run my own business right when I get out, and it's gonna like blow up immediately. And I just had this crazy mindset about that.
Wow. So like that struggle, you were laying on the floor in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Like was it more than once?
We broke into a storage unit, and we climbed over a fence. Well, it's because
You're a wild doctor.
yeah, I get wild.
Yeah, right.
And to go to the bathroom on the street, the cops chasing us.
Right.
That's the only crime we did. But
There you go. Yeah,
actually in a storage unit once too. But
there you go.
they're gonna arrest me later. But
They're like, where was like?
how was you? But my friend let me stay in like a broken down car he had. He was irresponsible back then. He parked a Miata, like a 2-seater Miata, into a dark alley in the city, so they wouldn't tow it.
Okay.
And there's like a stack of tickets on it. And he's like, hey, if you want, you can sleep in here. And I was like, sure. And it was like ripped up, and like a homeless guy like did his business in there, and like we pulled out baby wipes and we're just wiping everything.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right, so let's go in, let's sleep in here. And like, and it was like miserable, and your back is killing. I'm like,
No way.
oh my God. And then yeah, it was so miserable. And then we had to do some crazy things to get like a home temporarily to shower and stuff. Wow. I don't know if it's appropriate on the
Right.
thing.
Okay.
You did it. It wasn't me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he's the one who was using his body. I'm just kidding.
This is so good.
Yeah, I have standards.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you were just there for support.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna
Right.
thank you
You're like, I'm gonna go to the shower, but oh my God.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
doctor, you're a celebrity doctor, chiropractor. So, it's crazy how and fascinating your story. How you're going from homelessness to you are doing all this crazy stuff on the floor. You're dancing and doing jumps and all this stuff that many we can't do. I mean, I can't for sure. And
like
you had these injuries and you got better, and now you're in chiropractic, and now you're doing things for celebrities. So, what either enticed you to become a celebrity chiropractor, or did that just fall in your lap?
So I feel like it came back from like when I was like a kid, because I'm like, I always wanted to put myself out there, but then when you're a kid, your parents tell you that you should just get a regular job and you can't connect to people out there. Like, it's impossible.
Right.
So I always wanted to be in a creative space with like other creative people, because I thought I had potential. But then later, when people put you down your whole life, you just like, actually, I'm living this life where I thought I had potential and I didn't. And then later, when you start accomplishing impossible things that I thought was impossible, your confidence gets up there, and it kind of guides you to be like, hey, I actually originally wanted to work with other creative people. So I wanted to see if I can get the attention of people who worked really hard to get where they're at, like celebrities or like other well-known people online. And then that kind of guided me to that. So I kind of wanted to do that, but I didn't really care. I kind of want to work on celebrities, and also I wanted to work on people who were suffering to see if I can help them and change their life. So I like working on everybody. So I liked, it kind of guided me to work on like, I'm like a creative person. Like, I break dance. I want to work with other creative people. So like actors and
so you're like an artist too, because you actually like to create, like change things in people's physique to try to make them better.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm like, okay, you look cuter like this. Exactly. You came in like this. Let's get you ready for your date. I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
and so may I ask how old you are?
Yeah. Oh, I'm 32.
Okay, 32.
Yeah.
So that's super young for a doctor. And you said that you had some, like, you came into this world in the chiropractic world with like a new skill or a new type of way of doing this type line of work. So like, can you explain that compared to like, maybe chiropractors that have been doing work for like 60 years or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, usually chiropractic, most of them are traditional. So most of them will just crack you in 3 minutes, and it's just neck, mid back, and low back. And that can give you great results because everyone needs movement in their body. But I was originally trying to be like that. I was like, oh my gosh, so amazing that I can give some of these adjustments. And then later I started meeting people who have like high anxiety and stress, and they have gut problems, and they have like a jaw misalignment. So I'm meeting all these people who have all these problems. I'm just like, I can't even fix any of these. And then so every time someone, because I was like so excited about chiropractic, I'm like, oh my God, I'm helping so many people. And then and someone comes in like, can you fix this? I'm like, how do I fix that? And then so I like scouted out and tried to look for like special people that did specialty on each type of injury or issue, and then somehow they all actually came to me, and it's because of breakdancing.
No way.
Yeah, because I just had a breakdance thing, and then chiropractors were like, dude, I love breakdance. Do you want to hang out? And then they happen to be a specialty in like each. So I attracted each mentor through breakdancing.
Wow.
So I learned how to like work on the jaw. And then later I learned how to work on tailbones, which I don't even know how I got into that.
Wow.
But I'm like famous like for tailbones, like worldwide basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's back-to-back tailbones in my office. I'm like, someone has to do it. But but that one's one of the most complicated issues to fix because no one knows how to fix it, which is crazy. Yeah.
And how do you get an injury on the tailbone? What exactly has to happen to you for you to be injured like that?
So the most common in my office is they said that someone ruined their life, like they're playing a prank on them, and they'll just pull the thing, like a chair under them, and they'll just fall so hard on their tailbone, and they'll just have pain for the rest of their life, and they have to lean like for the rest of their life. And so many people has been telling me this, and then others would be like snowboarding and ice skating.
Okay.
Yeah. So the most common is like someone pulled a prank on them and they fall back on their tailbone.
Oh my God.
And they flip in different directions. Like I worked on so many, like they go in, they go sideways, they go backwards. And then they said been suffering their whole life with it. It's like worse than having like a jaw problem or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
But back, I mean, Mr. Eli has some back problems. And
I was hoping it just
Right now, for real, but I lay on this table.
you know.
I'm the ghetto chiropractor. I know how to do it.
Right, there you go. True.
Easy on the street.
No, we have it. And so it's like when he's in pain, or his brother also has back pain, and like when they're
It doesn't affect me as much compared to my brother. My brother's severely, like, he's like really damaged.
Oh,
we
really?
have probably get 1 or 2 days out of like a quarter of a year that might be like, all right, I can't move for 2 days.
What about like what is the most dangerous like move for you to do on somebody like that? You as a doctor, you're like, okay, I really obviously you need to focus on everything you do, but is there one that particularly you're like, you're just like, I don't know, I need to be
one in my office that's like kind of cautious.
Yes, like for you I better be really cautious.
Well,
Which everything is, I know.
Yeah, like that's why I always do like a detailed history. But when I work on someone, what's cool about chiropractic is it's so safe. It just looks so scary because there's a giant cracking sound. So you think their bones are breaking out. Yeah, but it just bubbles, nitrogen gas just flies out.
Okay.
Wow. Like you can just do this and gas flies out.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah. So, but what chiropractic does is it takes pressure off the neurology because like when you're stuck like this, your brain can't communicate that well.
Okay.
Because like you have all these nerves and there's like muscle get tight and you get like scar tissue build up from whiplash. And that's why you get all these symptoms just like a car. Like, wow. The car tells you to get an oil change, you should get one. The car breaks down. If your brain tells you that you're in pain or you have headaches or any type of issue, it's trying to warn you that you need to fix it or else it gets worse. And that's why people's bodies break down really fast.
Yeah.
But the most cautious treatment, I think it's actually not even like a spinal adjustment, more like tailbone in my opinion.
Okay.
It's because like they're in excruciating pain when they come in, so like you can barely touch them.
Okay.
And it's like just this like small bone they had to get to. So like I think that one's the most cautious one. Like I feel like I have to focus my brain on that.
Yeah.
Like adjusting someone's neck, it's like so safe. Everyone thinks it's so dangerous. It's like
every time I saw somebody your neck, I'm like, he's gonna kill them.
Yeah, it's all the karate movies too. I'm like, you're dead.
Yeah. Well, in the karate movies, that to actually hurt someone, you have to go like that.
Oh my God.
And I do martial arts too, so like it's actually really hard to do that on someone. Like if I can get a hold of your head, I mean, it's so hard to murder someone. Yeah. It's like so hard to murder someone in the chiropractic office. You're like, if you tried, the guy's like, what are you doing to me? You're like, muscle spasming my neck right now.
Can I ask you a really deep question? And again, it's up to you if you want to disclose this, but because I know you have a certain level of disclosing, but have you ever made a mistake? Have you ever done something where someone walked out worse?
Well, everyone usually gets like sore. Okay. So like I'll tell them like, oh, you're going to be so sore after this. And then they're like, what did you do to me? But then then after 3 days they heal. Yeah. But it's just a part of it. It's just like working out. When you work out, you're tearing up muscle fibers.
Of course.
When you get adjusted, you're actually tearing up scar tissue. Like it's one of the only treatments to tear up scar tissue. Scar tissue usually causes most of our problems.
Okay.
So when you have fibrotic scar tissue, it interferes with the nerves conducting less blood flow. So that's why you get better fast with chiropractic. You're tearing up scar tissue and remodeling it. It looks like this and it gets smoother. So that's why people get sore. I think a mistake, I'm trying to like pull one out. Right? But it's hard to make a mistake.
We gotta admit it, right?
Yeah, I have a story, but it wasn't really a mistake, but it was like I was shocked because I was just getting out there as a chiropractor.
Got it.
And there was this girl, my cousin was like, Donovan's the best. You have to get adjusted by him. And she's like, chiropractic doesn't work. I hear that line a million times. And she's like this pale girl who loves painkillers.
Oh, okay.
Like she just takes it every day because she's like, why can't I just take a painkiller every day? Like I feel great.
Oh,
And she has like low energy and she has like pale skin.
which explains because of the painkillers. She's got low energy, right?
Yeah,
She's all drugged up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my friend goes, Donovan, you have to help her. Because like I was planting seeds all over the place. I was like, I'm the go-to guy. And I'm not even owning my own business yet. So everyone was talking about me. I was a ghetto chiropractor. So stop saying that. But that was my name back then. I don't want to use the handle now.
Donovan.
I'm going to attract something else. But so I was like, how about I just give you one adjustment? And she goes, fine. It's not going to do anything. So I do this mid back adjustment and it cracks. And then she goes, and she starts shaking like this. She's like, what'd you do to me? And I'm thinking in my head, oh crap. I act very confident, like, I helped you. And then she's like shaking. I don't feel good. And I'm like thinking in my head, oh my God. So she goes outside and just barfs for like 10 minutes, like, and then and everyone's like, are you okay? And I'm like, don't worry, everybody, I helped her. I'm like, oh crap. And then so she barfs it all out and then they send her home. And then a week later she goes, oh my God, you changed my life. And like her skin color came back. And she's like, I never felt this good in my life. And she's like, I don't even have to take painkillers anymore.
Oh, wow.
And then I visit her again a year later. She's like, ever since you left, I've been seeing a chiropractor like every week because it changed my life. And I was just like, wow, I'm impressed. So basically her immune system needed a tune-up.
Wow.
Because when you get adjusted, it actually stimulates your nervous system. Because some people will detox after an adjustment, like once in a while.
Right.
So that was a wild story for me.
That is really wild.
Yeah, so I don't even get shocked if someone barfs after. And it happened.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even know people are going to barf when you
Really? So it's happened more than once.
Yeah, so over time I was like, depending on the person, if there's someone who comes in very like fatigued and tired and like depressed, and I give them adjustment, I don't even get shocked if they barf later at home.
Oh, wow.
And it happened maybe 4 times.
No
So,
way.
well, it doesn't happen that often. Don't worry, everybody. You're not gonna barf.
Yeah. right. But just from one crack.
Yeah,
You
just
crack the adjustment, whatever, and then later on they might just...
because like chiropractic could help like sports injuries and posture, but it's for your health is so non-specific. That's why they can't really track it. That it boosts up your immune system, then you start like detoxing, and it's hard to explain.
Right.
But you're stimulating the nervous system.
So do you as a doctor, do you recommend having some kind of chiropractic work done regardless if you're in pain or not?
Yeah, it's because it's like, imagine you're going to get your teeth cleaned because you collect plaque on it over time. Like you're brushing it every day, or you might not be taking care of it, and your teeth degenerate, and that's because of plaque. Your spine and all the bones actually collect some type of plaque or scar tissue on it, and your body breaks down over time based on that and how you're walking, because gravity is breaking down our joints. So that's how we get arthritis over time, and also deficiencies in nutrition and all these other factors. But when you get adjusted, it actually tears everything up, and it remodels the tissue, and it puts fluid nutrition back into the joints, so the joints last throughout your whole entire life. So if you got adjusted, you can look at your x-rays like, wow, your bones lasted this long. So like a lot of old people brag about their x-ray, like, okay, look at this. Yeah, I'm getting adjusted my whole life.
Oh, wow.
It puts fluid nutrition back.
So me being scared is I don't know why I always thought it was like scary.
Yeah.
And I've only had it done so many times, but I'm always worried about it. My brother gets it done every month. Like for him, it's like kind of like he always does it, which is good. You said it is good. Oh, it is good. So is that what you recommend? Do you think like everybody should try getting some of this work every month?
They should. And it depends on your lifestyle. So like if you're an athlete, like a football player, you definitely need to come every week.
Right. Okay.
Because they're going to hurt themselves. Like, I hurt myself all the time. I'm just like, I need a chiropractor right now. Like, I need to get adjusted like every 3 days because I just spun to my head and I'm doing flips and stuff. Like, I need someone to align this, or else my bones are going to break down.
Got it. So like for the people who like are, that are always working out, we work out like 6 or 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that already, it's already a red flag. You should be getting adjusted, or at least be seen or something, right?
Yeah. And it's not like, because it's, imagine like you're trying to take care of your health. It's just like you exercise every day. You eat hopefully everybody eats correctly every day.
Yeah.
But chiropractic, you only have to go once a week, once a month, or once every couple months. But it depends on you, on how well you want to take care of your lifestyle. Like it's the same thing as like, well, I'm gonna eat healthy 3 times a week and eat crap the rest of the week. It's just like that's the frequency that you'll choose for your lifestyle personally.
Right.
So that's when someone's like, I'm gonna go once a year, and I'm like, that's kind of a long time, but that's based on your health, I guess, like your preference.
And then, so you know how they say like sometimes in the gym there's a like you know, that thing you can wrap around your back so you can lift better. You know, I've asked some people at the gym like, oh, should I use that too to prevent an injury? And then, you know, these individuals will say, well, no, you don't need to because you're not hurt yet, or you don't need it right now and you don't want to use it because, you know, then your body's going to get used to that. And you're not going to be able to do it by itself. So does it kind of go the same like with, you know, chiropractic? Like, if we go and do it, we're basically always going to need it.
Well,
True.
You needed it 10 years ago before.
Got it. Okay.
So like, that makes so much sense. It's up to you if you want to have a healthy spine and a healthy posture, because you learn so much when you go to the chiropractor, like, especially when you come to me. Like, I'm all about education. Like, I educate you about your spine, your exercise, your nutrition. I tell you what your body really needs. Like, if you came in like high anxiety and you can't sleep that good, and like you might be deficient in magnesium glycinate or something.
I think you're high anxiety.
Thanks. Right?
Yeah. That's him.
He just gave me away. He just gave me away.
Yeah. And I always like read on nutrition, every lifestyle, because if you're going to be a doctor for somebody, you want to teach them about lifestyle, because that's what prevents you from getting a disease or breaking something. So I always teach like nutrition, like at least take omega-3, vitamin D, and magnesium. Those are the top 3 to help with like your emotions and pain in your body, and to actually absorb nutrition with the magnesium. So I'll dive in that later, but like, I'll tell you later about how to take that. But like, that's for to change your life, and it's so easy.
It's literally 3 pills.
And what are the 3 again, really quick?
So I take omega-3, magnesium glycinate, and vitamin D. But there's so much other ones. But those are the ones I want you to take for sure, because a lot of people don't even want to take a lot of supplements.
Okay.
But magnesium helps you absorb your vitamin D and helps absorb like any type of laser therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So magnesium's so important. We're almost all deficient in magnesium. So that's why it's important. And it helps reduce like depression, anxiety. So if you're deficient in a lot of nutrition, it can exacerbate your emotions. Yeah. So that's why I was like, you guys need to at least take these 3 things.
I mean, that alone right there is so powerful, because he's right. I do get a lot of anxiety.
He's very emotional. He's very emotional.
But I mean, I can even look.
Did you bring some? Do you have anything in the back?
You have enough.
But you. It's all takes
And it's funny because most of my diet is truly like a bowl of chicken and rice, like 3 times a day, and water.
Personal trainer diet.
Yeah. And sometimes in my head, I'm thinking like, wow, am I not taking enough of what else I need? Because it's literally just chicken and rice. And so sometimes I'm like, I need something else. So that alone right there is going to like save me from my anxiety and all that. So I'm going to try it. It's a jumpstart. I'm totally going to try it.
Save me too, just by him being. You're right. It's a roller coaster.
But that actually brings me to my next question. You said that your dad was like a bodybuilder. Like, did you learn all this nutrition stuff from your dad, your parents, or like, you know, your specialty is the back, but we're sitting here and we're talking about vitamins and different parts of the body. Like, you know, where'd you get all this, you know?
Yeah. Gotta practice what you preach.
Exactly.
So my dad was a bodybuilder. He's a martial artist. And my parents were like into health, but like they didn't go to school or anything. So they were gradually teaching me like, you're not allowed to drink soda. I'm like, seriously? All my friends are drinking it.
Yeah.
And that causes like brain issues and all this crazy stuff.
Most definitely.
And he's like, you're not allowed to drink it. And then he goes, you guys need to work out. He's like, you guys are in a family with a person who works out. You guys don't work out. So like I was getting exposed to like fitness and nutrition, but like we drank a lot of protein shakes and meat, and he was just learning kind of like what we're supposed to eat, but we were doing better off than most people around here. So he was kind of trying to guide me there. And then when I started discovering in school how to actually eat, I started teaching my parents like, we need this. And they were already ready to take in that knowledge. His parents don't want to listen to their kids.
Right.
But they were already ready. He's like, all right, we're taking everything you recommend. And then ever since I did that, because my mom is Filipino, and all Filipinos have high blood pressure, no matter what. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So like my mom's family, they all have diabetes and high blood pressure. And then so I taught her how to eat correctly and eat supplements. And I don't even force her to not eat dessert. And her blood pressure just went back to normal. And even my grandma, she's like 96. She talks to me every time about nutrition, and she's like the healthiest 96. She's like partying at the club.
Oh, that's so cool.
And she's like, Donovan, like, I've been taking these supplements. I've been moving around. Do I need to do anything else? Like, every time I fly back, she asks me.
Okay.
And she's in better health than most of her kids.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to meet her.
Gotta get her on here.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. So just learning a lot of stuff from they actually kind of learned from you then.
Yeah, but they taught me a lot. Like,
Okay, yeah.
my dad taught me mindset, and you can do anything in life and all that crazy stuff.
Okay,
And he exposed me to martial arts and bodybuilding.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so he created my mindset, and then I made us go further and got the knowledge that we all needed for my family.
Okay, so it was like full circle. I love it.
Yeah.
And are you guys all from here? Like you guys all grew up here? Did you guys
We all grew up in Seattle. Oh, my mom came from the Philippines when she was like 12.
Okay. And what about your dad?
He was in Seattle the whole time, and his dad was like from Croatia, Yugoslavia, or whatever.
Okay. Got it.
Don't let me dive into that history.
You guys could go Google it.
Yeah.
You know, like find all the like history.
So what's the next thing that you're planning? Being in the chiropractic industry, are you looking to expand by building your brand?
Yeah.
Obviously, your page is doing really well on Instagram. Are you planning to hire people, expand your offices? What's the next thing?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that all the time. Like, I plan on actually hiring people and expanding another business, and I just got here. So
and you've done a lot already for the amount of time.
How long have you been in California again?
I think it's like a year and 3 or 4 months.
Oh my gosh. No, it literally seems like you've been here forever.
Very institutional.
And I think it's because of the social media presence too. You know, it really seems like, I know you've been here for a year and a half, but when people see it, like, oh my gosh, like you are a celebrity to, you know, all of us and everybody.
Yeah, but what's wild is like in Seattle, I was more like a celebrity because everywhere I walked, like it was Seattle's small. So everywhere I walk, I'm in the grocery store, like, oh my God. And I was like, wow, Seattle is that small. And I come to LA, and I was flying here every month at one point. Like I was working nonstop. I was like adjusting people here, working in Seattle. Now I'm doing the reverse. But in LA, like I didn't even have a big community. Like people knew me, but like I didn't have a community out here yet. And so I had to rebuild it from scratch, even if I had a following, because all my following was from other parts of the US or the world, and Seattle a lot. It's like huge in Seattle. Over here, it was like okay. But I sensed that I had to be here to make an impact.
Yes.
So I built a community again from scratch, and then it connected me so fast.
Love it.
And then it blew up in LA again. And then I was like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Because when I first came here, it was way different than Seattle. Seattle was easy. I had family there. My grandma was my only patient. I can twist here, but
There you go. And then you come here and it's just celebrities and Hollywood. What is if I could ask you this, and you might not be able to answer this private reasons, but like what was your like biggest celebrity you've worked at? From you that you believe.
Yeah. Let's see. It's hard to say because like now social media is big and everyone's in a different niche. So it's just like this person's so huge in my eyes, or this person.
Yes.
So it really depends. But I had I think this one's a good story. It was kind of funny. Like I had an actress from South Africa come, and she's all listening to this, but she was really big out there, and I didn't even know, because like you don't know who's big
in other countries sometimes.
And so she came out here, and then her friend was a big producer out here for artists, and she's like, hey, we want to get an adjustment from you. And I was like, and I did so many collabs in the beginning, and they're all really bad actually.
Oh my goodness.
Like, because there's bad collabs.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone's like, I'm famous. And so like I'll work with everybody in the beginning, and they were just really low energy.
Okay.
And then so when she asked me, she had like over like 3 million followers. I was like, oh, I'm done with collabs. Sorry, it's not gonna work. And then she goes, I'll do anything. I'll pay you, or I'll do a collab. And then I was like, I don't know. And then her friend goes, she's not paying. And then I go, okay, it's fine. And then so I have her come in. It's like, fine, let's do one more collab. And then so she had like such high energy, and I don't think I should mention her name.
Okay. Privacy first.
Yeah, but because I'm like so much detail. But it was a funny story. So she had high energy, and she had a lot of emotional stuff. And then So like I blow her mind, and she goes, "Wow, this is the most amazing thing," and she started like crying and hugging me.
Oh.
And then I gave her this one adjustment, and she goes, "Are you married?" And then we all just started laughing.
Oh my!
And then so I posted that video, and it goes totally viral.
Oh, like that was being recorded.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then
Oh yeah, because you were doing a collab.
yeah,
That's right.
got it. But I don't want to put her on blast. And then so everybody in South Africa was going crazy, and like
No way.
they're posting on all the websites like proposes to famous here, and then everybody from South Africa was like trying to come here, and like everyone's like, "Where are you?" So I was like, all emails just from South Africa. I'm like, okay, I need some emails from people in LA.
Okay.
So like,
Got it.
I didn't even know how big she was.
Oh.
Like she was like really big in that area, and so like it was blowing up like crazy. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then after that, I started just attracting even more big people, like
Of course.
big singers, and when you look at your message and someone huge,
Right.
that you always looked up to or like listened to, like, okay, wow, this person wants to get adjusted.
No way.
Yeah, but like a lot of them, I wouldn't want to say out loud until it's like
Exactly.
so they want to because they don't want to do the collaborative.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, but that was an example of a story that led me to start working on all these people, and that's when I was like, I'm gonna know what kind of collabs I want to do after that. Yeah.
Of course.
So it sounds like you have such a great background. You have such a good character, like your charisma. You have a lot of good energy. I like it.
Thanks.
But it came from all the like trials and tribulations you went through. I mean, sleeping in cars, like you're literally a doctor for the back, and I think one of the hardest places to sleep is in a car. It's not even a four-seater. It's a two-seater.
Yeah, you're like this.
Right. And like you can't put the car like seat back when it's a two-seater.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. It's like, wow, like I can't.
Yeah. I even had to beg people to stay at their place. Back then, like I used to say I was just like teaching myself how to talk to people, because when you're homeless, for me, I completely lost my social skills.
Okay.
And I couldn't even talk. And I was just like, no. So I had no friends for like over a year at my college. Like everyone ignored me.
And it's because you were so to yourself.
I was so to myself, but also I appeared weird.
Okay.
Why do you feel so?
Like I had like my hair was growing out, and I wore a backwards hat. I didn't change my clothes. You know, it's like these $6 shirts from Target.
Okay.
I think I still kept it.
Yeah.
And my clothes were ripped because I'm like jumping over fences and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Oh my God.
And so no one was talking to me, so I was like getting in this mental space like the world was against me.
Okay.
And then like so that kind of like built me to like how to I kind of like try to tell my mind like I need to be a master at communication. I need to be a master at this, and this. So I kind of crafted it in a journal of like what kind of person I wanted to be. And then I became that in reality. Like I actually prayed to be who I am right now in my journal. I was like,
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm gonna get all these traits. I wrote Batman. I'm like, I'm Batman.
Okay, I would love
practice breakdancing, martial arts too. Yeah, so that's what guided me to like do all this stuff. But I used to go in restaurants and I used to breakdance in them, and I'd be like, hey, I'm a traveling breakdancer, and I'm homeless. And I said that every restaurant, and everyone denied me. And then one restaurant accepted me, this Filipino waitress. Filipino, you know, I should have tried that for the fan art.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm homeless. I'm a traveling breakdancer. Like, really? Can you show us? I'm like, oh, you want to see some moves? And I had like flip-flops on. I was like, oh God. And then they moved everything in the restaurant because they owned the restaurant. So I'm like spinning on my head, desperately trying to get a place. And I'm like, ta-da. And they're like, whoa, you're so cool. They're like, okay, I'm going to introduce you to new friends. So she let me stay in her RV in front of her parents' house.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, by the way, I have a other homeless friend. She's like, oh, that's weird. Okay, he can come too. And then her boyfriend was like, he kept coming to our RV and he goes, hey, you guys want some burgers or anything? But I think, wow, what a great guy. And then later I find out he is checking on us if we're going to rob their house.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That makes sense.
yeah. So like, it's like, why would,
Yeah.
so like, I didn't even know that he was doing that. I thought, wow, this guy is such a great guy.
Right. Yeah.
So we stayed in the RV for like a week. That was like vacation.
Yeah.
And then later they become my patients. So I like,
Wow.
so like he didn't have good vibes about me because I was a thief
Of
or
course.
whatever.
I mean, yeah, you know.
And then later I adjust him because I reached out to him and said, hey, you want to get adjusted? And like I started getting smarter. And then later he invited me to his wedding. And then I was like, wow. And then at the wedding, he goes, you know how I met this guy? I actually thought he was going to rob our house. And I only checked up on him because I thought they were so sketched, and he was telling it to everyone.
Wow.
And then now he's at my wedding now. I was like,
Almost you were there sitting thinking he would just wanted to give you a burger.
yeah, like, what a great guy.
Right.
He actually called the cops.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like, there's more stories, but it's kind of rated R.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the off camera after. Yeah, off camera.
So
I want to ask this too. You know, so before you were so quiet, now you know you seem like a happy-go-lucky doctor. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're breakdancing still.
Yeah.
What is keeping you with this high energy, like being able to connect with people now, like as we're doing right now? Is it, you know, what's your health regimen? What are you doing? You literally look like you're 18, 20 years old, but you're a doctor in your 30s, even though that's still very young.
Yeah.
But still, you know, you must be doing something. And I know everybody wants to know, so.
Sunscreen. I'm just kidding. But
Okay. And we don't wear that, so we need to start.
Oh, you guys should wear it.
Okay.
Great. It's gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one of them, son. What's your diet like?
So my diet, like I read a lot on like longevity.
Yes.
So when you read about longevity, you realize that the food affects your mood and how your appearance is. So if you eat a lot of sugar and all this processed foods, it actually gives you high anxiety and you get really inflamed, you get in pain, and it doesn't make you your higher self. Like you can develop your character, but then when you're eating all these foods, you're not gonna be your highest self because it affects your mood, right? Like everyone has emotional problems. So when I learned about that, I started eating. I had to make sure I'm eating all these different things like omega-3 and I eat like protein like steak and chicken. I also eat vegetables, and you gotta consider like you gotta understand what each piece of food does. Like
of course,
broccoli, it's like a cancer killer. Like you should be eating it all the time, or avocados and even different oils like olive oil. Like I put in a shot glass with my supplements like this.
Olive oil?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And sometimes I put, I have like a fish oil liquid too. Sometimes make it fun. I'm like,
okay, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
Yeah. So like when you do those small things, it changes your life. Like it gets you high on life, especially those three I was talking about earlier. And then you make sure to avoid foods that really like give you gut issues and high anxiety, which is like it's always cool to go to a nice restaurant, of course. But I feel like you only can go to nicer restaurants because it's like much better than the fast food restaurants. Right. So rancid oils. Right. Yeah. So that causes you high anxiety and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I make sure like I practice what I preach. I eat these foods. I do my exercising and I get adjusted. So I do all these elements of health, and that's why my mood is up here. But journaling is a game changer for your mental health. Wow. So you have to write about like who you are at the moment and like what you want in life and your purpose. Because if you don't have those like that feeling of purpose, if you understand your purpose for like everyone out there, you are high on life, and you can control your actions, and then you'll end up wanting to be healthier and all that stuff. Right. Yeah. Because if you understand your purpose, you're like, wait, my life is so valuable. I'm gonna eat the right foods. I'm gonna exercise even though I want to. So that's like it makes you more disciplined.
So you have like a daily journal you have next to your bedstand, and you're like every day you write in it?
Yeah, I actually carry it with me everywhere.
Oh, I love that. So whatever's going on right now, you might actually write in it like, I was on this podcast today. This is how I felt.
That's so amazing.
Oh my God.
And then I write down like, what's my next big move? So that's why like I always think about my next big move.
Oh my God.
I have to write them as impossible as possible. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I write down my mood at the bottom. And I developed this when I was homeless.
Oh, wow.
Like I didn't even know what journaling or manifesting was. I wrote about my day, and I wrote my mood at the bottom, scale 1 to 10. And I go, what's my mood today? 3 out of 10, baby. And then I wrote that every day. I had like my really crappy mood. And then later I like accomplished something I always wanted. And it's funny, the biggest accomplishment back then was I always want to learn how to do a backflip, which has nothing to do with anything. And I was like, this is stopping me from proving that I can do anything with my life or something. Because I'm a breakdancer, a b-boy that can do a backflip.
Right. Yeah.
So I trained with this guy every night, and I got it like really
amazing.
Was this after you got paralyzed?
Yeah, this is like when I went to chiropractic school actually, and I met this guy who did flips.
Wow.
And I was like, I always want to learn how to do a backflip. And he's like, I'll get you a backflip in a day. Wow. So I met him up at midnight at his gym, and I got it in a day. I was like, no, I've been waiting my whole life to do this.
Oh my God.
And I wrote my journal. And I wrote my journal like, dear diary, but yeah, I wrote, I just did something I've been trying to accomplish my whole life.
Oh my God.
and I did it. And at the bottom, I put my mood was like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 3. And I was like, wait, if I keep accomplishing goals, my mood will always be on point.
Wow.
So ever since that, I was addicted to accomplishing goals, and it was building my character up super fast. So like, I was like not socializing with a lot of people, so I had a lot of time.
Okay.
So I go to the cafe every day, and I'm like learning. I'm like reading a million books and like learning how to eat. I was learning how to do all these different things. I was learning how to run a business, marketing.
Okay.
So I was like getting high on these goals, and my mood was getting up to 10 every day.
Okay.
So I mastered how to control how I feel.
Oh my God.
The secret was, for me, it was accomplishing goals. And that my first day I remember was the backflip.
Okay.
That's the discovery of like
that was
the
discovery.
It has nothing to do with anything, but it was like I can do.
I mean, it does so much. Like, it literally that backflip like created you in a way.
Backflip.
Yeah, right. So if you guys want to be creative, go do a backflip.
Yeah, everyone's.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you can do it in 24 hours if you put your mind.
That's so cool that you could like. I'm an introvert by nature, so I'm very calm and very collected. Like you can even tell I'm just a more subtle person.
Yeah,
Mike's a lot more of an extrovert for me. Sure, a little extra. But I feel like that's a great idea because I used to actually. There was a time in my life where I actually was writing things down when I was more solo to myself.
Yeah,
and it actually helped me go through my day.
Yeah,
understand the nature of what Eli's all about.
Yeah,
so I can see how that works for you, especially with the multitude of things that you have designed for your career, your future, things you're surrounding. Were you also an introvert, or do you feel like you're kind of more like that? Or
my whole life I was like, when I was a little kid, I did not even talk my whole life. I couldn't even say a word.
No way.
And everyone thought there was something wrong with me.
Like up until how old?
To like almost 17, 18.
Really?
Yeah, because you're very, very talkative right now, which is a good thing. You're very.
So this is like a shocker. Like all the way till about 17, 18, you really weren't somebody who talked.
Yeah, like I was invisible to everybody.
Wow,
like when I was a little kid, I couldn't even say what I wanted to say. Like someone would make fun of me or try to beat me up.
Yeah.
Who was in first grade, and I couldn't even say a word. And then he blamed like this is like a story about like he like punched me because he's like jealous of me, a little kid, and I'm playing by myself with the ball.
Yeah, right.
Then he tells me, he's like, Donovan beat me up, and then I couldn't even say a word.
No way.
And just tears go down my eye.
Wow.
And then I was like thinking in my head as a little kid, and I had high anxiety as a little kid, like shaking all the time. I was hiding behind people.
Oh wow.
And so like I look, I'm like, why can I open my mouth and my siblings can? And so like the teacher's reporting that there's something wrong with me, and my dad's like, there's nothing wrong with him.
Right.
And then so when I turned like 13 or 14, I was like, oh my God, if I don't talk right now, I'm never going to talk ever again.
Yeah.
So I was like practicing in high school.
Really?
And I was like, I'm just going to say hi.
Okay.
And my high school was ghetto. Everyone's like, what's up?
Right. Okay.
This is going to get intense.
Buddy.
So I was like, hi. I'm like, I'm doing great.
Okay.
Then you had to do the handshake. So like, I'm like, you had to do the handshake. And I'm like, this. Oh, thank God, I got the right handshake. And then you have to do this one and this one.
Oh, yeah.
And or else you get shot over there. I'm just kidding.
Right, exactly. You have to, if you miss one,
if you do your handshake, it's game over.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, crap. Thank God. And so,
oh my God.
And then I started like breakdancing, and breakdancing was an art where you don't have to talk. So that's why I did breakdancing, because I wanted to I wanted people to notice me somehow. So when I started winning like small competitions, everyone's like, oh my God, you're so cool. And I was like, oh crap, I don't know what to say. So I started kind of learning how to talk.
Yes.
And then I started saying sentences at like 17, and like I was like talking.
Oh.
But I have high anxiety. I couldn't control my life. So I was like, I don't have confidence to do anything in my life. And then later, that's when I finally was like, I wanted to my life and move. So I made that connection to move. And I was like kind of talking at 17, 18.
Okay.
But I couldn't control my life. Like you're in the Matrix, you can't even do.
Yeah.
Wow. You can't just run in the middle of people and scream or.
Right.
It's actually a crazy person, but like.
yeah. Right.
Back then, I didn't even know what a homeless person was. Like, wow, he has so much confidence.
Oh
just,
my God. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so much confidence. Yeah, but then when I wrote my journal later when I was homeless, I just lost all my talking skills, which was none.
Wow.
And I wrote my journal. I was like, I want to just talk and say whatever I want and be a leader and communicate anything.
Wow.
And then be respected and be the best at whatever I do. And then, so I created that character, and I actually created me right now. So I'm talking right now.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So I can talk everywhere I want. But back then I could not my whole life. Like, I feel like I didn't even talk half my 20s. Like I had high anxiety my whole 20s, and like I'm 32 right now. Like was that just the other day?
Yeah, right, exactly. No, just shocking because again, most people, you know, they need so much help, and you did it on your own in like one of the worst environments, and you still made it happen, and you literally wrote it down on paper, and you're sitting here today, that exact character. I mean, this is just, you know, incredible. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you ever get emotional? Do you like?
I do.
You know, because like that's just so amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I write about it every day. Actually, I write about like, wow, I can't believe I used to live in a tree. Actually, I'd be lucky if I did, but
right, exactly.
I write. I always think back. Like before I even go anywhere big, I'll think back like, wow, I came from being homeless. That's like my memory that I think about. And then sometimes I talk to myself like I'm talking to the little version of me, like, wow, I can't believe, like we're a team, like I can't believe we're making this happen. To like,
right, exactly.
I remember all my memories that happened. I was like, I always talk like, wow, I can't believe we made it this far. Right. Let's take it to the next level.
And it sounds like you leveled up in so many ways by your breakdancing, meeting all these amazing people by doing your chiropractic work. And then obviously, you know, I can so relate to that because I think I didn't stop getting picked on until I was like 17. I was so quiet. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't care. And it was like, no, it was so bad too. And I can totally agree with you. But you broke free. And a lot of people, even to this day, and even social media, using that to your advantage to be able to speak in a way without even having to say anything. It's just typing in your language.
Like you escaped the Matrix.
Yeah, you escaped it, right? Yeah. But it's so freaking amazing because this is why people like you, because you're proving an example of change. People get stuck in this normal lifestyle of being in that Matrix feeling and saying like, well, I guess this is the way I'm supposed to be. But you just said, you know what? F this. I'm going to write it down every single day of my life and even grade myself, which is kind of cool. Let's be real. I mean, I want to do that. I would probably grade you, but, you know, probably be a 1. It's kidding. But you know, it's so genius because some people don't know how to reach out to people. And instead of having to waste that kind of energy on getting some expectations from someone, you can expect the best from yourself. And you just write it down. All right, I did this bad. At least I know for tomorrow, my challenge is to make that up a little bit higher. And if you're a 10, well, you know, the better, right?
Yeah.
But that's freaking genius because, I mean, we should be doing something like that. I think a lot of people that can be getting some genius material from this could do things like that to be better, you know? You know?
I used to work with doctors as well in dentistry, and for you, is it weird when somebody doesn't call you doctor? Because I will never be able to not call you Dr. Donovan anymore.
It must be nice.
Because I learned I learned that in like the medical field, like, you know, like call them doctor, you know?
Yeah.
And if you don't, it just seems disrespectful. At least, you know.
Do you feel that way? Do you feel like if somebody doesn't call you doctor, it's like game over?
You're like it's doctor to you.
Like, don't call me Donovan without doctor in front.
Exactly.
I think like, well, like, in public, it's funny because out here in LA, everyone calls me Dr. Donovan, literally like my street name.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it is kind of weird if someone just calls me my first name in my office.
Okay, yeah.
Right. But what's cool about my office, like, the people that I attract are like, oh my God, doctor. Like, they always talk like that. And so it like makes me feel like, wow, like this person really appreciates me.
Right.
And when someone just called me Donovan, like it's not that often in my office. And it doesn't bother me because like, I don't want to let anything bother me at all.
Right, of course.
Because there's all these memories and experiences I experienced that like it wouldn't like change it at all. So, but like, I think it's respectful if someone calls you that in my office.
Yeah,
and then in public,
it's I don't even care. Okay.
Well, we'll make sure we call you Dr.
Yeah,
Donovan.
forever.
You earned it too. I mean, you work hard. I think it's important to call people by what they've built. And you build something for yourself. I mean, it should be doctor. I mean, I can not disagree with that.
Right.
You know?
And it's funny because at the parties, my friends will introduce me as Dr. Donovan.
See, love it. Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. It's like a fun thing. Right. Yeah.
And no, you know what? It sounds like they're actually rising you. Like, oh, I have a doctor friend, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's just mean.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. That is the coolest. Well, I mean, we appreciate you being on our podcast. Obviously, we can run these things forever, but if anybody wants to look you up, how do they look you up in social media or any of your platforms?
Okay, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Donovan Smolich, TikTok and YouTube, Dr. Donovan, and my clinic is called Full Function. So if you guys want to get adjusted, I'm in Burbank, California, and that's how you find me.
There you go.
Are they able to hire you directly, or there's no one else besides you? Like, oh no, you have to use my assistant, or I have another chiropractor that doesn't work.
What's your availability? I think is the question.
Like that.
about a couple of months, years out, where we stand?
Well, like, you guys just needed to message my assistant.
Okay.
Go full function with Instagram and stop messaging me.
There you go. There you go. Right.
Hardest part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reach out to your clinic.
So much work for me.
There you go. Right. Love it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, guys. Expect some reels and some content. Hopefully, we collaborate with Mr. Donovan, Dr. Donovan. There it is. Wow, he's ready to hit me. He's ready to hit me. He's getting flashbacks. Okay. Anyway, thanks, guys, for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Much love and thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.